This is the Pantheon. I would like to proudly welcome all the way from Montreal. This is Rob with Necronomicon. And we're talking about this new album, Unus, coming October 18th. Welcome to the Pantheon, my brother.
How good, bro?
Oh, man, fuck. I love the music. It's so energetic and, like, just pure dark-driven madness. So, like, let's get a little bit of a history about Necronomicon. How long have you guys been together as a band?
Well, actually, I started the band in 1988, so that's 31 years ago. I think we're one of the longest-running band that never stopped, like one of the longest in Canada. I mean, there's bands that was there, like, around that time, but they stopped, like, disappeared for 4 or 5 years, 7 years, and after they come back and stuff like that. And from, us, we never stopped. I mean, I'm the only original member, unfortunately, but, actually it was for the best of the band. I started the band. I was in a region in the North Quebec. It's called Kingdom of Saguenay. It's really in the mountain. It's a remote region. And after a few years, decided to relocate myself in Montreal to help the business and everything because there was nothing to do there. So, yeah, 31 years now, right?
Wow, man. So 87, 88, you're saying, eh?
Yeah, 1988.
Wow. The highlight of the great years of heavy metal music. Like, looking back then, like, who and what were your inspirations to, like, that created your sound today?
Actually, musically, it's always been around like this. I know it's going to be super cliche what I'm going to say, but it's like Celtic Frost, Venom, Bathory. It was pretty much like the bands that, I like the vibe, the dark.
This is exactly what this show is about. It's all about our influences, where things began. The love for that music is what binds us.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can say that. I mean, if you look at these bands, there was Venom that was pushing really the envelope to be super extreme, super, like, crazy on stage and shit. You had Bathory that was more underground a little bit, even more underground than that, but it was pretty, like, really satanic and stuff. And Celtic Frost that was adding, like, atmosphere and orchestral parts, especially onto Megatherium, So that was pretty much, like, where, the idea of creating a band like that, but here in Canada, that I wanted to do, like, dark stuff like that. And of course, like, we mentioned, like, a little bit earlier when we were talking, before recording, and the Lovecraft theme, that was pretty much what I was, I was reading a lot of Lovecraft at that time, and I thought Necronomicon was, like, a really badass name. That was the book that, can protect. You can protect yourself from negativity, but also you could know how to be in contact with, like, other gods and stuff like that. And at the same time, contrary to the Evil Dead book, at the same time, the book was telling you how to work, with it and how to protect yourself against such entities and stuff like that. So it's a book that it's in the middle. It's not an evil book. It's a book that is in the middle, in between good and evil.
Fucking awesome, man. Fucking awesome. So let's jump right into it, man. Let's talk about your brand new album coming out October 18th, Unus.
Yeah.
So what was it like creating the arrangement to this album? Like, was it difficult getting the right sound? How many takes did it take? Please tell us about your process.
Well, first thing, it's pronounced Unus. You need to stretch. It's a U sound.
Unus.
Latin. Yeah, Unus. It means one, or by yourself, or alone. It's in Latin, and that was pretty much like the idea of the return of square one. Like in arcanes, like in tarot cards, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You have 10 major arcanes. So after you complete the entire circle, you come back to one button, full power of the knowledge of what you've been living before. So that's the end of the concept of Unus. The recording and everything, sorry, the recording was done a little bit different because I wanted to do everything, how can I say it? previously I was splitting like in three sections. I was recording one place, doing the orchestral part another place, and mixing and mastering another place. This time I decided to record everything in at the same place that we're doing the orchestration because first they're super professional. Secondly, they really know. It was the same place that we were doing the orchestration previously, but now they went bigger. They're really successful, so they had the facility to be able to record full bands and stuff like that instead of just working for orchestral and stuff like that. So what I did is we were the first band to record drums and everything in their new location. So, and we recorded everything there. It went super fast, to be honest. Probably the fastest recording we ever did. Drummer did everything in 2 days. I did everything like bass guitar, solos, except the vocal, in 3 days. And we did the vocal in 2 days. And after we went to mix with Mr. Logan Matter from Machine Head in Las Vegas. And
very
we
nice.
did them, mix and mastering there. So yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, Zach Dean from Missouri sends his regards. Just had him on the show the other day.
Oh yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, I met him quite a few times. Pretty interesting band, Missouri.
Very cool. Very cool. Having both you guys within not even a day of each other. So let's talk about like what's going to be coming as a physical copy for this album, Unus. Is it going to be CD, cassette, vinyl? What can the fans expect?
Well, we don't go to cassette right now. I think there's a revival of that. I've noticed.
Oh, you're damn right. There is a revival of cassette. I'm buying them up.
We're
That's for
probably
sure.
going to go there, but I'm not sure we're going to go there yet. But for one thing for sure, for Unus, the CDs, of course, obviously. And we decided to, with the label, we talk about it, and we decided we're going to have some vinyls this time around. Yeah, we're going to have that pretty soon. Actually, it's been shipped by the label. It's right here, so
it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it for the fans to get out there and get this album. I know it's going to be on most digital platforms, but like I say, we're all about the physical copy because we know that you can't find in a digital copy liner notes, lyrics, who the band members are. There's not much soul in a digital file. What do you think?
Well, I'm not a big fan of digital like formats. So except for stuff that I listen at home, really relax at night because I don't listen much metal, to be honest. So when I listen to music, usually it's like, if I listen to metal, it's going to be like old stuff like Motorhead, Judas Priest from the 80s and stuff like that.
The stuff we grew up on.
Yeah, so it's pretty much I'm back to that. It's been like quite a few years now. But besides that, I listen to a lot of soundtracks and a lot of classical music.
I love Andrew Lloyd Webber and Danny Elfman and some fantastic composers out there. John Williams. That's the stuff I went to sleep to as a kid.
Yeah, it's stuff like that, and pretty much. But I listen to a lot of Beethoven, to be honest. Beethoven,
I completely grew up on Beethoven, Mozart, Bach.
Yeah,
my all-time favorites. It's the most calming music in the world.
One that's a little bit less known for most people because when they think about classical, but it's a little bit more modern. It's Gustav Holst. Gustav Holst wrote what he called the planets, and the first verse is Mars, bringer of war, and it's one of the most influential piece ever. You listen to that and you recognize metal. Actually, you know the song "In My Evil" that's been covered by Metallica. It's from Diamond Head.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But the intro on how it's built. They were totally trying to copy Mars Bringer of War from Gustav Holst.
That is very cool. You heard it right here, folks.
So if you go listen to Gustav Holst, Mars Bringer of War, and you're gonna see how epic, and it's really, really, really war music, like classical but epic as fuck.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's next there, Rob? What's next for Necronomicon? Any tours, festivals? I think you got a special tour coming up with a couple of classic bands, Suffocation and...
Belphegor.
I seen those boys live. They're fucking ripped the shit out of the stage.
Yeah, that's... for this time around, it's U.S. only tour. Usually we do some Canadian dates across that, but this time, actually we had a Canadian tour that was booked, but it was too many tours at the same time, and we didn't want it to take the risk to go in competition with like some of our other friends that are on tour, like Beyond Creation, Voivod, and other bands that I don't remember, but we decided to, and we had that offer that was coming around the same time, and we said, you know what, we're going to concentrate on US right now, and we're going to just push our Canadian tour next year. So, yes, from October 23rd, I think, if I remember, October 23rd to November 24th, we're going to be touring United States. It's 27 shows with Suffocation and Belphegor, yeah.
Right on, man. Well, everybody get out there, see Necronomicon, get their new album, Unus, October 18th. And Rob, Necronomicon, thank you so much for being on the Pantheon tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Keep making great music, keep kicking ass. Horns high!
All the good. Thank you very much.